So this is one day to go. I figured I should squeeze in this video just in case something actually does happen and we are no longer able to talk to each other. But it didn't seem like that's going to be the end of the world. Just a minor thing. Just for people to wake up because you all are sleeping. That's it. I want to continue that series of Imibuso Emelene noMuNtu. Now, I'm going to have a bit of a difficulty. I'm going to title this video. And also, it's going to be quite a very lengthy one. I try to keep my videos short, but this is going to be a very long video. Now, here's the thing. We've spoken about religion. We've spoken about the financial sector. We've spoken about mbusazwe, the global politics. Now, I want to speak about intellectualism on the intellectual level. Umbuso omusa, where we are dealing with human cognitive ability. Now, I want to take you back a bit before the 1948s, where you now became human, because some of you forget that before 1948 you were not classified among human beings. In fact, Charles Darwin, when he wrote his Human Evolution book, he titled it along the lines of in natural selection in superior species and whatnot. I'll try and link it here so you can check the original title of Charles Darwin's book. Now, they turned around and labeled that phase as eugenics. But in actual fact, the reality of the matter is all science before 1948 agreed that at some point, in some way or the other, that the African man was a subspecies, not entirely human, but a subspecies of humanoids. That's why even today they're still calling you monkeys. And you're shocked and you think these are your friends. Now, here's the thing. That you would like to call it racism, but it's not. It's just superiority complex. Laba banye bacabanga ukuthi they are superior to you on the cognitive level. They can reason better than you, they can plan better than you, they can imagine better than you, they can come up with solutions better than you. They can build things better than you. That's just what it is. That's what they believe. Even if now they are trying to pressure themselves into including you in things, they still believe very hard that no, actually, Utabane might be working as a director in this company, but I still own this company and I'm better than him. It's just what it is. Now, that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how you end up in a situation where even the academic sector is dominated by these ones, and in fact it's dominated by everybody else except black people. and you are literally relegated into positions of certificatists. You get certificates and that's it, done. Now, when you look around, you're not doing anything valuable in the sciences in terms of research and development. You're not doing anything valuable in terms of financial economics development, in terms of mathematics, in terms of nuclear research, all kinds of things. They are still perched at the top. Technology, electronics. We live in a country that has an issue with electrical supply, but I don't see much of these electrical engineers innovating. See, now we're going to sit with a problem now where we have to accept that Siemens and Hitachi are going to come into this country to construct and be contractors in our national grid, whereas we have thousands of engineers, highly qualified black people, but they're not. Excuse my language. You go to any country in this continent, educated. The worst offender of this thing is Nigerians, extremely educated, but dololo development in Nigeria. Dololo, nothing. They're not innovating. They're not developing things. They're just very comfortable working under some Japanese, some Chinese, some European, some American, consulting. So now, that's the dynamic you are in, where the game is on the intellectual level, you are being dominated. On the mental capacity level, you're being dominated by these ones and everybody else. Now, a reasoning mind will ask, Kuti, kwenzakalani? How does it happen that we are not found to be competitive? After all these years, since 1948, you've been allowed to participate in these things, but you haven't built anything grand like everybody else has. You know? China started to get its things together in the late 60s. And look at where they are now, they're way ahead of us. You have some African countries who have been decolonized for way longer than that, and nowhere. But they have all the resources, whereas China doesn't. Whereas Japan does not. You know, after that Hiroshima and Nagasaki incident, Japan was absolutely destroyed, devastated. But they picked themselves up. So what is happening to your cognitive ability? What happened to your mind? What happened to your intelligence? Now, as you know, you've heard all the political rhetoric and some of the facts that I've been stating just now. But you know me, I specialize mostly in what happens in the spiritual context. Now, here's the thing. You are not going to be able to think clearly because when you lie in bed asleep at night, your ideas are siphoned out by specific beings. You are not going to be able to prosper in the game of intellectualism because whenever you think of something, something will come and distract your mind. Now, I've met a couple of the spirits, and one that stood out to me was, I sort of called him uMchezulu, because what he does is that when you have a very interesting thought, his job is to derail you, make you lose focus. Now, this is why black men cannot think clearly and focus in the long term, because they are bereft of this thing of focus. It's taken away from them. Now, if you want to test this, try and do a meditation. Meditate on one thought, one single thought, for 5 minutes. See if you can do it. You can't even pull it off. Even for 60 seconds, you can't pull it off. The moment you try to focus on one thing and zero in on one thing, your mind goes somewhere else. Now, I'm not going to talk about what other people are going through. I'm just going to talk specifically about Africans. Is that you have spirits that are attached to you that work day and night to derail you. Work day and night to take ideas from you. Now, once that's done, now we must also remember that we are dealing with wishes here. Abathakathi laba. Now, if someone has seen some of my videos when I speak about izinyoka, is that now on the ritualistic level, some things that you get up to, like amathwalo, it also compromises us, because once usushonile, everything that you used to do is taken and then it's given to some other person somewhere. Kulaba bantu laba abangafundeki emhlabeni badla kanjalo. Now, it also happens with, it's not just umcebo, because people don't understand umcebo. You think umcebo is just the money and the finance and the things. No. Even your mind, your wealth of ideas goes. Shona ubaba kade ethwalile kusala iy'ngane ziyidomu zahlupheka zonke into, because umcebo la ekhaya wayobambisile. Ethi yena ufuna umcebo kanti ubambisa umcebo wasekhaya. Usuthathiwe ke manje. Naye usuthathiwe usuyofukuza lapha. Because what you people don't understand is that thought, ideas, and plans are also part of your wealth. Your wisdom is part of your wealth. That's why some of you get shocked when you hear me speak, because you're not used. I hope you're definitely going to even struggle to follow my thought pattern, because we are not on the same wavelength anymore. This wisdom should be natural to you. You should know what I'm about to say and what I'm saying. It should click, but it won't. Because you've been robbed. You are robbed in your sleep. You're robbed in your working of the day. Now, that's where this thing lies. That's the thing that causes you to be constantly looking to be a servant. Now, in the African term, we call that uti. Uthwetshuliwe. Kade abantu ebula lapha. Kade abantu ebula. That's why you can't simply pull yourself away from them. You're constantly looking to go and service them. The only thing you know is that I must go and be a servant. Uhambo hlala 10 years ufunda the most difficult abstract concepts. Uthola ma cum laude, ma PhD, masters wena, and then come back uzofuna ukusebenzela enye indoda. Explain to me how that works. And obviously, we assume this is normal. We accept that as a normal thing. and we don't question it. That's because you live in ngqondo. You live. And that's why they can come out and proudly say, they might not know, but there are people amongst them that know this fact. Now, when you see them going around here in the early 1600s, 1400s, going around beheading amakhosi, beheading abantu, it's just because no. It's not because there was some evil thing, no. It was all ritualistic. If you go on Google now and look what they were going around in Africa and doing to the bodies of black men in particular, they'll be chopping off the heads of black men all over the continent. Angazi ukuthi nileleleni because lento isobala, like if bethiwa yayenziwa abantu abafana nani ngabe nabona ukuthi yazi lento le bantu basilukhuza bathola ngathi, but nikubonanga because kwakuyilapha khona la base Belgium lapha kade ngibuka ukuthi they would kill so many people and chop off their heads and construct a pyramid structure ngamakhanda abo bame phezu kwawo. They would take turns standing on top of amakhanda abantu. Ngihlala namanje nihleli la ngicabanga ukuthi banomali abantu laba. And you wonder why you can't seem to overpower them. Bahlezi la entanyeni. Bahlezi kamnandi futhi ni comfortable nani. And sakhala ngisho ukukhala sinithi nje hayi like bas yeah, but I need a job. Because that's the thing. The moment la benikhumbuza khona ukuthi babeze ngokuzonhlaba la nivuka ngemgaqweni ntotoyo la rifi then go back and yosebenza emaplazini abo nosebenza endlini zabo nosebenza enkampanini zabo. Into eyichilo kakhulu emhlabeni ngiyinyanya nazo zonke ile abantu abamnyama basahamba namanje bephuma bengena endlini zabelungu bekhosi ingane zabelungu. Nikhulisa ingane zabelungu. Like, do you understand ukuthi labantu laba kahle bafanele ukuba khona la emhlabeni? Nemikhuba sebeyenzile kunina, but nisibindi sokhulisa ingane zabo. Hayi sahlupheka sidinga ukudla endlini. Mina angazi mhlambe ngelinye ilanga kokwenzeka ukuthi asuke umlungu azosebenzela wena uthisha nje ungena lutho athi hayi ngigadela izingane akuncelisele izingane zakho ngoba phela ningcole kabi nina beningcele lezi izingane zabelungu ngegcile la beningincelisa sinceliswa yini sikhulu zenkombo nje ibele kodwa ezakhe izingane ekhaya zilazi ibele lakho. Anginazi yahlupheka impela sure, but I understand ukuthi yini yenza ukuthi niqhubeke nifuna ukusebenzela abantu nazi kahle ukuthi akufanele ngabe nihlangene nabo. Ile nto enkumayo ukuthi umqondo wantshontshwa awusebenzi mile kumele usitshenje mina umqondo awusebenzi neze and aniyibona impilo yeni ilunga ngaphandle kwabo. You see, and then you go into these academic institutions and the mere fact that umuntu automatically means ukuthi, well, you can do whatever you want here, but you're not going to create an impact. And when you show ukuthi you have a very high level of intelligence, then baxwaya bazoxwaya. And they'll try to frustrate you out of whatever you're doing. You know. And the thing about it is, what I've learned is that they've become very good at giving you a false sense of achievement. Now, when you go into university nowadays, you go to study, you remember, recall, but there's not a lot of work that goes towards developing ideas. You don't learn to develop ideas in the universities anymore. No. You find that you do that outside once you've left. That's why ubona ukuthi most of the leading entrepreneurs now, in fact, the top 10 richest men did not even complete their university. They left university. Yeah, some of them didn't even go to study. Yeah. They innovated and made money, and they're billionaires. They're literally leading clubbing. But then it takes us back to the thing that I was saying, Uti. While you are out here being servants, you forget that nasetshenzwa kakhulu. And wangasiliphi ukuthi bezela babezevele ngenhloso babazi kahle bafika la bazotholana. Futhi lento yokuthi nikholele ukuthi bafika ngo-1652 le iyamanga babeka sibekade bekhona. Hence kukhona izinkulumo nezintori ezithi kwakhona izilwane zengubo nomlenze munye in this country. Because these people came here long before that, in 14 something. They were already here. They stayed here for years. Benbuka. Lokunyamalala umuntu ngawani. Nyombu. Hence nesisho sithi uzokwenza isilo sengubo. Injalo nje lento le. It's just what it is. Now, how do you get your mind back from these people? I don't know how you're going to get your mind back because, well, ansafuni babantu. Maybe masen fundile ukuthi ke ni babantu, you're probably going to start getting some of your things back. So as I was saying, to uyacabanga afike umchezule endleleni. Okay. Uthi uzama imali ifike leprechaun thathe la ihambe. Uthi yaphuma uyangena uyathenga esitolo fike ijini thathe imali ugcina ukhokhe wathenga izinto kade ungacabanga ukuthi uzoyithenga. Wherever you go, you've been captured. And into ebasebenzela kakhulu is that ithwalo labo phezu kwakho lenza isiqiniseko sokuthi sihlezi sihluleka ukuhlangana. Asihlangani. Kasihlula. Sikwazi ukuhlanganyela into. Instead sinalento yokuthi sihlukene. Is stronger but hayi mina nje angifani nisamanye abantu amakwerekwere. Injalo nje. Now, all these Africans, they can claim whatever they're claiming, but the bottom line is si-captured sonke. Sathwalwa kwathola ngathi kanzima. Manje into ebuhlungu ukuthi phezu kwalokho kunabantu futhi abafa abaningi abakhalayo. So into yethu ayinako ukuthula phakathi. Labantu abagcwele lapha elwandle nje. Ushumo uthole